Good morning, everyone. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. I want to welcome you to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul, where we discuss simple truths about life and being, understanding that you are not simply a body and a collection of thoughts and a collection of emotions. You are a sentient divine consciousness. You are a living soul in a physical form, expressing the medium of spirit or energy, the divine in the form of energy through the body as emotion. You are a living soul and you are able to channel divine energy. It's happening all the time, whether you're aware of it or not. And today I have the pleasure with me of the Divine Collective. And this is a collective of beings that come from many different quadrants and several other dimensions that have integrated together to try and help humanity elevate itself out of what they call the slow time. By the slow time, they essentially mean the time where we are not quite aware that we are aware, and still subjective to the lower enticements of matter. In other words, we believe that matter is the sole and exclusive mechanism for defining ourselves and what we think life is. That's going to change very quickly in the next couple of years. So yeah, you are a living soul in a body. Good morning, Drusilla. Good morning, Bogyamila. Hi, Sunny. You are a living soul in a physical body. It's not who you, this body is not who you are, but it is the medium through which you express. It's the medium through which you express who you are, not who you think you are, who you are. Now, there's some wonderful things that begin to happen in our lives when we begin to recognize that we are a soul, a consciousness, individualized, able to articulate ourselves through the medium of matter. This is just a medium of matter. That's what matter is. It's a medium through which different rates and frequency of vibration and consciousness operate. It is not the only vibrational plane of consciousness. Matter is not the only vibrational plane of consciousness. Yes, I did do that. Thank you. It is just one very small layer of an infinite layer cake of consciousness. That's what this realm of matter is for you. When you begin to understand that the body is an instrument that has a lifespan, it's got a coming and a going, it is natural, but you, on the other hand, your comings and goings are very different than those of the body. Awareness and consciousness are not bound by the laws of time, space, and matter as the time, space, and matter are. Your body, your mind, and your matter, this stuff, is bound by the rules and laws of matter. You are not bound by the rules of matter. The fact that you can raise your arm up in the air is evidence that you can alter and interact with matter very differently, right? You can cause effects in matter, time, and space that no matter can. You can transcend even the effects of matter on matter. Your scientists begin to understand the process of manipulation through genes. Your scientists begin to understand this thing called mind over matter, but they do not understand that that which is over mind and matter is what you are. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. You are a living soul in a body. It is important you understand this simple point, that you are a living soul working through the medium of a body. This is just one medium through which your awareness is expressing. It's not who you are. It's the mechanism and the vehicle. Give me a moment. I'm going to turn my notifications off. I failed to do so when I began. Just give me one moment. There. Sorry about that, folks. I just want to make sure you weren't disturbed by the dinging of my notifications. I sometimes forget to turn them off. So when they came to me this morning and said, it is so important that you understand that when you believe that the rule of matter is greater than your ability to affect it, you become enslaved to matter. We wish to repeat that. If you do not understand that your relationship with matter is that matter is subjective to you, then you will remain subjective to it as long as you believe that matter and you are synonymous. The medium of matter is simply that. It is not much different than a communication system through which your awareness moves itself and expresses itself into this event of time and space. You want to end your subjectivity's suffering, but you're not willing to look at who you are. You still continue to assign that all suffering is based in matter, time, and space. But you cannot even measure, except perhaps the electrical activity of thought in your brain. You can measure the electrical activity of thought in your brain, but you have not yet developed instrumentations that can measure where the source of that thought originates. You still think in terms of physical reality, that because you can measure something in the brain, that therefore it must be within the brain. But you do not understand that this system is a receiving and a transmitting mechanism, and that you as soul can interact with it in very different ways than it can interact with itself. You can transcend disease with a frequency, with consciousness, with an idea even. You can transcend disease. You can transcend any negative energetic state if you understand your capacity and your innate ability as consciousness, as awareness, to alter and change the frequency of any substance to which you put your attention to. And the nature and quality of your attention when it is placed towards specific substance will determine the way in which that substance will alter itself according to the nature of your awareness at that moment. In other words, what you think, what you believe, what you focus on will cause matter to be affected in very precise ways. Many of you say, well, if I can think that I'm completely whole and perfect, then I should be whole and perfect. But you must understand that in the physical realm, there are processes of law, processes of energy called induction, transmutation, the law of the inverse square that indicate that matter will follow certain principles when it's given information in the form of a vibration. The vibration of health and vitality, if you are dealing with an individual that's in a damaged or disturbed body, that they must be able to sustain a vibrational representation of health so long into this body till the body embodies it. Much the same way as you can change ice into water or water into air, the same principle applies. A vibration must be sustained and maintained with enough consistency that matter eventually surrenders to that vibrational frequency. Even the production of words through this body is an example of this. There was a point in the consciousness of this body where this system could not operate. It had to be developed with input, information being put into the system, in the case of most of you, from the environment, your sensorial world, and you received information in, and that information reconditioned this nervous system in the system to respond and react in very specific and predictable ways. The side effect of that is many of you lost yourself in the construction of that personality that was placed upon you by your environment, and in that you became identified with the personality and forgot the origins of your own awareness, that you are a soul, an awareness that came into this form that had to have this form trained to speak words. The body had to be conditioned to speak words, which took a period of time, just the same way as the body had to be conditioned to walk or to talk or to do anything that it does. A process of induction, information, emotion, energy comes into the form and begins to organize, give direction and instruction to the consciousness at the level of matter, and the level of matter organizes itself according to the nature of the vibration that's being imparted to the system. In other words, if you can stay energetically in a state of vitality and health, and you can impart that feeling into your body consistently, your body will return to a vibrational state of health. As easily as you can go into a state of vibrational disease, you may create disease equally. But even the vibration of substances around you, viruses and bacteria and disease are vibrational consciousness as well, which you can interact with in certain ways. You can be in resonance with health. You can be in resonance with disease. It's very interesting that so many of you can find yourself being healthy one moment and not so healthy the next. You do not understand the law. You don't even understand who you are as a soul. To understand who you are as a soul, you're in a very different position over mind and matter than even mind has over matter. For you are the great housekeeper, the gatekeeper of this temple. Please understand that you are a soul, a spirit of universal light, living in and through a physical medium, but you are not the physical medium. You are not the collection of information in this medium. You are the consciousness that conducts yourself through this condition of matter and mind to create the world as you experience it today, and which you are able to alter and change at will anytime. Wow, that's a mouthful, isn't it, guys? Hi, Tanya. Hello, Sarah. Hi there. We're going to get into Q&A, but understanding this concept, like, it's so important to realize that that body you are in is not you. The personality that you think you are is not you. It's a construct of your environmental conditioning. You, and this is why a lot of people are trying to commit suicide and leave the planet, is because they can't distinguish. They know that what they think and feel is not who they are. They got all these thoughts from watching television, playing games, and doing things that fill their mind with pain and sadness. And they don't realize they can actually release their pain and sadness. They don't realize they can actually still their mind, quiet their body. Most of these people that don't understand that they are not, they know that I'm not these thoughts. This is not who I am. I'm going to leave. But what they don't realize is who they are can change this whole system. You can change the mind. You can change the body. You can alter emotional energy quickly and easily once you understand that you are the awareness that orchestrates, changes, transmutes, edits, deletes thoughts, ideas in your mind. You can do this. You are the programmer of the system, right? You, in your own state of awareness, could be compared to a Ferrari, where your mind and your body are simply Volkswagens. You must understand that your body is not what you are. Your mind is not what you are. Your thoughts are not who you are. Who you are is this limitless potential of soul, able to orchestrate and articulate vibrational changes in thought and matter. You're doing it all the time, most of you unconsciously, and your science will soon be able to verify and validate what we're saying. They'll soon be able to verify and validate that the body is simply a receiving and transmitting station of consciousness. The realm of the soul has been hidden in the realms of the mystical, and we are simply to say it is not hidden at all for you that know that you are not your thoughts, for you who know that those emotions do not feel right to you, for that you know that you are not that mind, you are not that body, but that you have a responsibility and a dominion to assert over it, to assert your authority over matter so that it serves you and does not subvert you to its limits. For the conditions of matter are very basic in terms of their functionality. The conditions of consciousness are limitless. And you are consciousness. It's what you are. You are consciousness. Yes. Wow, let's get into some questions. Hi, Kathy. Yes, matter is basically the first dimension, right? Matter is the first dimension. It's really simple. There's only a few dimensions that we know of at this point in time. There are very many more dimensions. Question: what is the best way for me to tap into this first dimension? You'll hear this come through us all the time. It's so important you understand. The body must be trained by you. Your environment, most of you have had your bodies trained by your environment. Most of you have a mind that's been given to you by the environment. Most of you haven't even chosen your own thoughts and emotions. Most of you are carrying the thoughts and emotions you've learned from television or from your parents, if you're a teacher. Very few people choose to create their own thoughts and emotions about themselves. Very few people choose to do that. They think they're doing it, but they're not. Yes. So to get to that first dimension, you want to get the body to a place of stillness. Come to the meditation tomorrow. On Supernatural Saturday, we have a Shortcuts for the Soul Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where we bring through energies from these different collectives and masters and different beings. And then on Saturday, we do a meditation to integrate the energy that was imparted during the 3 days. That happens on a program called Supernatural Saturday, and it happens at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel. So if you want to get notification about that, please click the subscribe button, click the little notification bell so that you get notified whenever I come live, because I'm only doing live videos. I do not do recorded videos because they say it's important that be in the moment. People understand authenticity better than they do that which is scripted. And most of what you are learning from this world has been scripted by the world. Let the world have what is the world's. Awaken yourself. So that process of getting your body still and quiet, and then getting your mind still and quiet. And only you can do that. And we know there's a number of you that struggle with a mind that goes blah, 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 blah. You have to teach that mind to be still. Turn the things off around you, televisions, radios, things, turn those things off that are putting at you death and destruction and doubt and fear and mistrust. There are so many mediums around you that are doing that, putting out fear and games that want to harm you, and they put out lots of things to keep you in a state of unconsciousness. When you're stuck in your fear, you're stuck in matter. You're not in consciousness. You're in a degree of it, but you're in matter. Fear keeps you stuck in matter, whereas love keeps you in awareness. So once you can get your mind still, your body still, you'll begin to move out of the first dimension into the second dimension, which is thought, right? Thought is the second dimension. And now in thought, nobody can see your thoughts, but they're there. They're invisible, but they're there, right? You can't see anybody's thoughts. Why is that? Because it's on an invisible spectrum of wavelength that you can't see with your physical eyes or hear with your physical ears unless it's brought through the medium of the body, expressed through the medium body. In this case, it's a sound wave. And that sound wave goes to your ear. Now the thought wave, which was invisible, now becomes visible through the medium of matter. You bring thought through the medium of matter and you express it out. So once you can get to that realm, then you start to control that dimension. So you got body, emotion, thought, soul, right? And once you can control the lower vibrational elements of thought, emotion, and matter, once you can begin to regulate those, now you can start working on the fourth dimension, which is the soul. You are a soul, spirit of universal light. And you can now interact with, change, add, subtract, edit, delete thoughts in your mind. You can even give directions to your DNA from the perspective of your soul. When you get your mind and body still and quiet, you can give instructions to your DNA to alter DNA with your consciousness. Now, science has been able to measure changes in DNA instantly. You can go into a state of fear and your whole DNA system sends out a whole response mechanism to fear. Just as a vibration of love causes a whole response mechanism for the body that's different. They can measure clear chemical changes that are effects of non-visible energies in the forms of emotion. So once you get to that place of awareness where your mind and your body are still and quiet, you can now begin to orchestrate. You can now begin to orchestrate deliberate and intentional changes from the perspective of what you are, not what you've been told to be. Because what you've been told to be will only allow you to become what you've been told to be. But what you are is not limited in any sense of that word. What you are is not limited in any sense of that word. First dimension. Question from Blaine. Has my wife had a miscarriage? The first words they're saying to me, there is nothing missed. There is never anything missed. There is only dynamic change. Your language certainly inhibits your understanding of the full dynamics of situations and circumstances. We had a dear one come to us the other day whose child did not come into this dimension, but the child was still evolving and growing in her consciousness and stayed connected to that dear one. In fact, it came up to her and began to caress her lovingly in the face, and she felt it. She understood that the form does not determine the individual. The form does not determine the individual. The individual, the soul that you are, determines the form. So this dear one is not missed at all. Very present and apparent in the experience of your consciousness. If you continue to confuse soul with matter, you will not understand soul, for you will substitute it for matter. So please be very mindful. Be very mindful that soul and matter are very different. Soul works through the medium of matter. Matter is subjective to soul. Thank you for that question, Blaine. Question from Baba Gira. Hello, Baba Gira. Is this body on a journey and I'm on a journey of guiding it? It seems as though the body is better at processing emotions than I am, and I'm simply here to observe it in its abilities. That is not true at all. If you believe that, then whatever has been put into your mind and body, you will be subjective to, you will be enslaved to it. Your body is an instrument for your divinity to manifest. Now you may, in your course, choose to surrender your will to a divine consciousness that is beyond what even your mind and body know. You may embody the energy of the divine and surrender to its will, as many of your ascended masters had elected to do. Some still do. But to recognize that you are in equal contest with the creative intelligence in how you can interact with matter, that you are equal in its potential. You have free choice in this matter. You may go along for the ride, or you may choose to create a journey. The choice is exclusively yours. Thank you. Thank you for that, Baba. Yes. But the body, no. Okay, I will for certain. So your body is only better at processing emotions at the level that it's at. The body can only handle emotions in very precise and specific ways. Understand that emotion is a flow of energy, either positively or negatively, through the body. That flow may be stimulated by environmental conditions, or it may be stimulated by an internal presence, which is you. But you are far more capable of managing, organizing, transforming, and transmitting emotional conditions than the body in and of itself can. Please understand this. Your body in and of itself can only process emotion on a level of chemistry and physics. Stress and release. Stress and release. Your body is very limited in how it can process, assimilate, and remove emotional constituents from the body that are either negative or positive. But you as awareness can induce qualities of emotion and energy into the body so as to alter its medium, the way in which it will function. You can train your body to process emotion far beyond its natural capabilities. That's why you are in this mechanism of the body, so that you can demonstrate your mastery over it, so that you can begin to know your own creative capabilities. All of you are little gods in the making, little gods in the making, beginning to understand that you can create and orchestrate matter at a very, very rudimentary plane. You're able to direct matter very simply. And healing is another process of directing matter. Understand? That's great. Question from Caitlin. Is there any chance I can know who or what it was that I just saw? It's been twice in the last 20 minutes. Thank you. That light that you saw, Gabriel, the Archangel Gabriel, feel. You've seen it twice. In the third time, do not let your mind analyze, let your awareness experience. Do not let your mind analyze what you've seen. Allow your awareness to experience it. Experience the vibrational communication to you. Experience the vibrational communication to you. Analysis will block the reception of its meaning. Analysis of that vibration will block the experience of its meaning, your ability to receive it. So when the thrice time comes, allow yourself to feel what is being offered so that you might receive it or not. Wow, thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome, Kathy. Question from Tanya. Can my sister come through and give a message to Mom? I am with Mom now. My sister is Tony and has been gone 7 years now. That's a stretch because she's off on other things now. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know why, but she's showing me an image of like a tiny little bunny rabbit, like a little tiny stuffed bunny rabbit, and like handing it over to your mother. It's like a little tiny, almost like a velveteen rabbit character, and she's literally just I'm feeling that happen. That she's handing this image I'm getting over to your mother. I don't know why, but please let us know what that means for you. But it's like she's literally handing like a little tiny velveteen rabbit character to your mother. And remembering that, she's saying remembering that is all she needs to know. Remembering that is all she needs to know. Wow. Please let us know what that means, Tanya. Oh, you're welcome, Farhadiba. Question from Sunny. Does the goddess Lilith have a message for me? Thank you. I don't know why she's just saying, ignite the fire. This is like bring your fire. I'm trying to find the right words because I'm getting really hot right now. Light your fire. I don't know what that means, but whatever that means, you please let us know, Sonny, in the comment section. Okay, let's scroll down here. Yeah, people don't realize. Vertical Connections asking, is there a message for me, please? If you've got a really nice cup of tea, go and take your cup of tea and sit out and just be in the moment with the tea. Don't try to see any one thing. Just be in the moment with the tea. I don't know why I'm seeing a street and I'm seeing some houses and I'm seeing a couple of trees around, but it's like you're sitting on this stoop. It's the closest thing. It's not a full point. It feels like a stoop. You're sitting there with your tea and just observe the moment in the tea. Interesting. Don't get caught in the sensation. Be in the moment. The sensation of the tea is merely to distract your body. We would request that you be aware of the vitalness of this moment. Be aware of the vitalness of this moment. For we have seen it already. But go there and do this. Thank you. Thank you, Vertical. It's an amazing thing. So you are a living soul in a body. When they came and said this, yes. Now more than ever, people they need to understand on a much broader scale with all these light workers waking up and people going through ascension symptoms and the sun reacting and responding to the human uncontrolled fear on this planet. We have to remember that we are not the thoughts. We are not the emotions. We are not the body. We are a sentient consciousness, soul, that has dominion over mind, emotion, and matter. As a soul, awakened and aware, you become the thinker, not your thoughts, the feeler, not your feelings. It is time to end your subjectivity to mind and matter and make them your servant. Sorry, somebody else in the background yelled out, make them your bitch, right? Sorry. But And you're literally realizing that your mind and your body are meant to be your servant, not your master. And so many people have put so much stuff in their minds from what they've watched. Like, the mind is not your master. Your emotions are not your master. They are your servants. And the only way you can come to that understanding is to learn how to train your mind and to train your body to be what they were originally when you came into that body, your servant. Not the servant of the others, but the servant to yourself. This is your sacred temple. You must embody your light in them. The correction in your mind and the corrections in your body will happen very easily as a result of what you are. If you understood the nature of your being, that you're an extension of Source Love, then you would have nothing but love to offer, both mind and body. You would neither attack it nor deny it. You would simply love it. Remember, most of what you have going on inside you is not even yours. Most of what you have going on in your minds and bodies is not even yours. But you have taken responsibility as if it is. The fears, the angers, the uncertainties of others are not yours. You have your own to relinquish. And relinquish them you must. And the only way you can relinquish them is to realize what you are. You are awareness. You are consciousness. You are soul. You are able to reorganize mind and emotion. Many of you try to escape the responsibility of this because it can be so hard to learn something so simple. It can be very hard to learn something so simple for some of you. So you find alternate ways, pills and drugs, and ways of controlling your emotions in a physical way, but that does not ameliorate nor negate the responsibility that you have over your own mind and your own emotions. Your emotions, let us put this quite plainly, your emotions are the very energy that you require to create the conditions that you call your life, that you live through that physical form. Your emotions are organizing the conditions of your body. Your emotions are organizing the conditions of your environment. Whether you come from fear or you come from love, whichever emotional quality you align your awareness to, that is what will determine the expression that you have and the relationship you will cultivate with this world. For those of you that are dominant living from fear, well, you can see very clearly what your fear is doing to your body, what your fear is doing to your world, what your fear is even doing to this solar system. Very few of you understand that relationship. But for those of you that choose to pursue that understanding, you'll find not only great freedom, but wonderful and joyful responsibility. For you then begin to realize, I can radiate a quality of vibration and induce very specific changes in this world as I already do. The difference is now I can be conscious of this fact that I will choose to bring this energy of love into this mind, into this body, and I will impart this energy to this entire world, to this entire solar system. I will deliberately vibrate this way. And you will train your mind and body to vibrate this way, and you will see and know the difference, and this will be measurable even by your current scientific standards, that a vibration of love brought into the body, an invisible vibration brought into a visible medium, will alter its chemistry. Your science is already measuring some of this. They can measure the chemistry of your tears. If you are laughing or crying, they will tell you which tears are good tears, which tears are bad tears. They can see the changes that your energy, your emotion has immediately over your physiology. Learn very consciously and deliberately to assert authority, loving authority over your mind and body. Many of you get angry at your mind and get angry at your body because it is thinking the way it was taught to think. But you cannot blame your mind and body for what it was taught by the environment, but you must take full responsibility for altering it. This is your responsibility, not that of your mind and body. Your mind and body can only do what your mind and body can do. They're very restricted and limited in their functionality, but you do not have those limits. You can orchestrate great change in your mind and your body. Suffering is unnecessary when you understand this. Your suffering is unnecessary when you understand that your mind is something that you can bring to a place of great stillness, that your body is a wonderful instrument that responds to qualities of emotion that you can regulate. You can alter and change the quality of thought. You can alter and change the quality of energy in the form of emotion and change what your body does or does not. And it is a matter of cultivating that awareness, the recognition that you are a soul. You are a soul, and you are living through this body. But coming to the understanding that you can alter and change the way in which thought and emotion can function in your body. You can alter and change qualities of emotion. You can alter and change thoughts. You can release old emotions. You can release old thoughts. You can bring in new thoughts and new emotions into your mind and body. You can reinvent your mind and body to be in the image and likeness that is most pleasing to you as an awareness. Do not let anything come into your house without your permission. Thank you. Thank you for that. Wow. Things that happen. Thank you, guys. We're going to take a question from Khan. What is a good way to explain this work to people who are just awakening without getting a weird look that I'm crazy? Well, once it is important you understand that that which is visible is what most people believe to be true. But there are simple questions that can be asked of any individual who's uncertain. Simply explaining to individuals that are not open to such things what they are will not suffice to help them to understand, but to ask them questions. Questions like, how come you can have thoughts in your mind, but nobody else can see them? A simple question like this. How is it you can have invisible thoughts, but they affect a visible body? Is that not true, that your thoughts affect your body? Those that are seeking to know but do not know they know are best to be approached from the perspective of questions as opposed to the process of instruction. Those who already know but are seeking to know more, you can simply speak the truth and they will hear. But for those ones that are just awakening, simple questions like, does your body not listen to you when you tell it to sit or stand or walk or talk? It does. It follows your instructions. What about your thoughts? Can you change your thoughts from a thought of fear to a thought of love? And how do you do that? Do you know that your thoughts are invisible and that only you can be aware that your thoughts are your thoughts? Although you can be aware of other people's thoughts, but most people aren't even aware of their own. They're controlled by them. But simple questions like those. How is it you can be aware of your thoughts? How are you able to be aware of your thoughts? And who is it that you are that is aware of your thoughts? And where are you being aware from? Where are you observing your thoughts? Many of you will say, in here. But we would say, no, that's where you think they are. But we find that is the most favorable way, is to ask these ones questions about answers that they can easily and readily come to the conclusions of themselves. For it is easy for someone to say, yeah, I do have thoughts and I can see them. I have memories in my mind, I can see them. That's in an invisible realm. Thought is a non-physical realm. Once that is established, then what is the individual that is observing those thoughts? Well, that individual is invisible too. It is a process. Question from ZB. I feel that I am on my soul's divine path and trying to stay true, but the physical change is slow. Any message for me? If you want to increase the rate and frequency of change in the conditions of matter of your body, you need to understand the process of intensifying emotional qualities, feeling states that you want to bring into your body. The more intensely you can bring forth joy into the body, the more intensely you can bring forth vitality into this body, the more you can bring excitement into this body with intensity, you will speed up or accelerate the alteration and change in the molecular structure of the form. In other words, the molecules of your body will begin to respond when you bring in a new energy deliberately. And if you can sustain and maintain that long enough, then it's like anything else. You are entraining the body to a new energy. And over a period of time, as you increase that intensity, the amount of time for the transformation will shorten quite significantly. You can do it instantaneously, mind you. If you go into such a profound state of vitality, such a profound state of knowingness and freedom, and you go so deeply into those, deeply into those, then your body will feel that and it will carry that out. Some people call that process miracles, where the intensity of a vibration is so great that it induces an instantaneous change in the medium of matter, because the intensity of the vibration is so pronounced. You can freeze water very quickly, and you can freeze water very slowly, depending upon the medium of the temperature mechanism that you're using towards the water. So please understand, the intensity of emotion that you can bring into your body will determine the time frame that it takes for events to occur in time and space. You can lengthen that time, you can shorten that time. If you have resistances, like we find many of you are going to these places to get treatment for conditions that are not very favorable. And so you will introduce elements that will reduce the emotional functionality of your consciousness over that body. So you can fight uphill battles and still win too. Question from Adam. Can you ask Archangel Michael on who was the beautiful woman that appeared in my mind's eye a few hours ago? Kuan Yin. The name is Kuan Yin. The feeling of beauty, please understand, the feeling of beauty is the remembering that you need to cultivate at this time. Do not think of it as something to be acquired from who I am, but rather understanding something that you need to re-embody into your life. The embodiment of this beauty in your own physical mechanism, when you embody this vibration, you will, of course, manifest in your material world that which is like it, which may be anything, but potentially what you call relationship tends to happen from that process of being. Excuse me. Thank you, Adam. I'm going to take one more question from Animation. Am I having a Kundalini awakening? I was having a sensation all day and night yesterday down there. Having the sensation is not the same as having the awakening. Having the sensation is not the same as having the awakening. It's the beginning. They're telling me to tell you to go into the place where that sensation is, to use your breath to draw that sensation up through the body, to draw it up through the body. Draw that sensation up through the body. Do not leave it down there. To bring it up, to bring it up, to bring it up. Then you'll begin to understand the experience of the awakening rather than the signal that it's approaching. For awakening can happen spontaneously for some of you who have done many lifetimes of work to get to that place. But we find that many of you are better off to become aware of that and cultivate it consciously and deliberately to self-actualize your being to a higher plane of functioning. Well, thank you, everybody. It's been an amazing, amazing morning for me. Remember, you are a living soul operating through the medium of matter. It's not who you are. This body is not who you are. That body you're in is not who you are. It's the medium through which you are operating as an awareness, as a consciousness, right? And your mind and your emotions are not who you are. They're mediums of energy that you work through. Please understand that. Your body is physical energy that you use as a medium to work through. Your mind and emotions are non-physical mediums of energy that affect matter. You are a soul. You are an incredibly exquisite, remarkable, and beautiful soul. You are. That's what you are. And when you begin to realize that and say, I will choose to embody my beauty, I will reshape my thoughts, I will reshape my emotions to embody the beauty of who I am in this world. And that is the nature of awakening, fundamentally, is awakening to the realization that your thoughts and emotions are energy that you use to affect matter. Quite simply, right? Your thoughts and your emotion are energy that you use to affect matter. And the quality and nature of your thoughts and emotions will determine the nature and quality of the effects you have upon matter. As a human collective unconscious species, we are predominantly stuck in fear and doing ridiculous and insane things from that vibration of fear. Ridiculously insane things on this planet because of fear. Well, the same thing is true from a perspective of love. We can do exquisitely remarkable and amazing things from the vibrational consciousness of love. My delusion for all of you today is that you'll go out and you'll choose to align yourself to your highest conception of what you think love is as a vibration and bring it into your body. To embody love in your mind and in your body, and watch what your world does around you. Any person that chooses to operate from the perspective of fear is limiting themselves. Anyone who chooses to operate strictly from thoughts and emotions of fear are limiting themselves and will suffer needlessly. Love does not suffer. Love does not suffer. Love does not suffer. Fear suffers. So have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. I want to thank the Divine Collective for being with us today. Much love to all of you and to the other beings that came through for these ones here. And thank you guys for showing up. If you like this, remember, give this video a thumbs up. It helps to put this information out to more people. Give the video a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when we come live. And for those of you coming to meditation tomorrow at 11:30 a.m., I look forward to seeing you then. I'm really excited about what's going to happen. And I'll have a special announcement tomorrow as well. Have yourselves a great day, everybody. Bye for now.